Hi guys, I'm Chris. Welcome to this week's tutorial. Let's draw together. In this week's tutorial, we'll be drawing a cute little gingerbread house in Procreate, and I'm sure you can create this too if you follow along all the way to the end of the video. And if you feel rushed, don't worry about it. Just hit pause and rewind to catch up and save this video to your library so you can rewatch if you want and get some extra practice in. Today, we'll be using all free brushes found in Procreate. And don't forget, once you've finished this entire video, share it on Instagram and tag me in the image as well as the description so I can find your artwork and feature you here on the next Draw Together video. For this video, I've made you a free color palette just in case you want to use the exact same colors I'll be using today. I'm using a less traditional palette, so feel free to use the good old red and green if you want, but these will be available and you can find them in the description below along with the links to the goodie bag and some other good stuff there too, so always have a look in the description. So let's get to it, and I'm going to start by making my canvas 4000 by 4000 pixels, 300 dpi and sRGB. And I'm just gonna go and select a black or charcoal color and go into my sketching and grab my 6B just to start off for our preliminary sketch. So I'm just at 100% on everything just so you guys can see. And today I'm gonna do this in a somewhat perspective. I'm not gonna draw a perfect perspective grid or anything like that. It's just gonna be eyeballing it. So let's start. I'm gonna start with my front. So I'm just gonna do a straight line. And it's just we're gonna have a slightly odd shape here, kind of like this. I brought that in a bit too much. And then I'm gonna have the sides go out like this. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Just a bit on an angle here. And that will be the side of our house. And then the roof is going to come up like this. Oops. Like that. Okay, so now we have our house somewhat in perspective, and that's good enough. Okay, so then we're going to put our little dormer up here. So I'm going to follow this line for the bottom of it. And I'm going to build it up. Hopefully you can see. I'll zoom in for you. Up, follow this line here, so that's the front facing this way, and then this line will follow this direction of this roof straight, and then it's gonna have a triangle and a peak. Actually, you know, I don't like how this is meeting up here. Do you see that? Like these lines are all joining there, so I'm actually gonna just take my squiggly line, I'm gonna just go around it and then hit my arrow, and I'm gonna move it a little bit, just maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger, a little bit higher, just so that's they're all joining in different areas so that those lines are not all going in the same place, so that'll help. Okay, and I'm just gonna erase these because it's kind of annoying. Okay. So we have our dormer, and then I'm gonna just draw a little chimney coming out here, like so. And that maybe will have kind of a top to it like that. All right, I think that's good. You know what, again, I think I'm gonna move that again. Oop. Over there. Okay, I think that's better. And then I'm going to have, I'm gonna just kind of place where the door is gonna be. I'm gonna make it a rounded door, kind of like a horseshoe shape. And then I'm gonna have some windows here, window there. Actually, maybe I'll bring this down just a touch lower. Window there. And let's put it one on this side, and that's going to be more square. Okay, so these will be that type of idea with the, what are they called, mullions? Okay. This guy will have a little thickness to it. Throw on the door handle. Maybe we'll put a wreath around. Something like that. gonna put a few little shutters here. Maybe, yeah. And what else? I guess I can, oh, you know what? There'll be a window in here too. I guess I can start kind of putting in some of the details that we want just to kind of get an idea. Of course, we're gonna have lots of icing and good stuff all around the edges. I'm gonna give that a little bit of thickness. I'm gonna do some type of fancy decorating here. I'm not sure. Maybe I should map it out. Let's do that. I will do it so that it'll save time when we're doing our good copy. So I'm just gonna draw some lines here. Just really like just so we can follow them when we're doing the scoop. So I'm gonna do a decoration kind of like this. And then sort of that scalloped icing look. Of course, you can decorate it however you want. Okay. And I think I'm gonna add some, well, I think we're gonna have kind of like a candy cane type look here and here. So these are gonna kind of come out like that. So I'm just gonna erase this line here because there would be some thickness there. Kind of like that. And these are just gonna be striped, of course. Okay, and then this one would have it too. Striped. And I think I'm gonna put this. You know what, maybe I'll add all the decoration later because I don't think we need to have that too mapped out. So just get the idea of kind of where we're going. I'm gonna put some candy canes in the back just for fun. Saw this was a cute idea, so we'll do that. It's a little thick. We're running out of room. Something like that. I'm just gonna actually move my sketch all the way over because I've run out of room. And I think I'll have, you know, some sort of a path happening. Maybe some sort of fence. And maybe we'll kind of give it a lawn, I guess. Okay. I think that's more than enough for our sketch layer. So let's go and turn that down. I'm going to click on the end and bring that back to about 15%. And I'm going to create a new layer over top. Let's go get our brown color and I'm going to just fill in the gingerbread to start. So I'm going to use the lighter brown and I'm going to go and grab the dry ink brush. So I'm going to make sure that the line goes all the way around because I am going to fill it in. So I'm going to bring this up to about 15% and just fill this whole square or hill shape in here. Definitely not a square. And then drag it in. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the same here. Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to do the dormer here too. Oops, I guess we'll get this as well. And the chimney. just the parts that I'm going to leave as gingerbread. Okay, so that's all I'm going to have like that. I'm going to go and turn the background layer just to a different color because we will need to see the white. So I'm just going to make it, well actually I'd rather have a slightly blue, sort of a blue-gray, light blue-gray, just so that the white stands out when we do all the icing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do a new layer on top, grab the white, stick with our inking, and we can just sort of do we can do the edges, I think. That's what we can do. So we can just make it look like icing. Wiggly lines, drippy lines, all that good stuff. See if that fills up. That's not gonna fill in. Kind of worried about that. Let's see. Some of these lines might be too thin. There we go. Okay, and then just go back and make sure that you're filling in all any of those little holes there. And we're gonna do the side here. And I'm just coloring it in as I go this time. Okay. Maybe just beef it up a little bit. Good. Let's see, what else shall we do? Well, we have our white. You know what? The top of this is gonna be snowy, top of the chimney. And I still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the dormer there, so maybe I'll leave it for this moment. Let's go back to the gingerbread layer and grab the brown again, the lighter brown. I think I'm going to do these scallops just as piping, so I actually will want the gingerbread to show through. So actually, you know what, I'm going to do another layer. Sorry, keep going. Changing my mind. Do another layer on top just because I do want this dormer to be separate. I think I will need that for later, so I'm just planning that so we can just go behind the icing and just grab that. Perfect. Okay, so then we can go over top and do that icing. Maybe I'll do that right now. I'm gonna actually bring this layer, my sketch layer, on top so I can see it. It'll make it easier. And then click on, still remain on the icing, the white layer. So still with my dry ink brush, I think that'll work fine. I'm just gonna do this icing just like you would really actually pipe this in real life. It's just pretty much the same, except you'll need white. And just go and scoop. And I'm going to make it so that all the tops of these are going to be like little dots. Okay, so that looks cute, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna actually put more icing on the top. I think that joint needs a little icing. So you're gonna squiggle it on top. And perhaps you'll see it a little bit here too, on the edge. Probably a little bit thinner. Okay. And the dormer would probably have it on top too, and maybe around the edges as well. Okay. That probably makes sense, maybe in here too, because that seam would be... Okay, so I'm going to go back to layer 2, grab that brown, and fill in the rest of the dormer here. Okay, and go back to the white. I just want to make this edge better. Okay. Good. So next I'm going to do the candy canes, and I'm just going to add a new layer and fill these in with white. And then we'll put the stripes in there. So I'm just going to drag and fill. And that's actually all filled in. That's fine. Oops. Sometimes it likes me, sometimes it doesn't. All right. See if it'll do it. Yep. I knew that wasn't gonna work. All right. So I'm just gonna turn off my sketch layer for a second. I kind of want this to be a little bit thinner here, so I'm gonna go to my magic wand and grab liquify and use the push and bring this size, probably about 40, and just push that up a little bit. Make it look a little bit more candy cane-like. Okay, I think that's fine. Good. Okay, so we can put some stripes on those. So I'm gonna just put a new layer on top and click on it and clipping mask, and then I'm gonna grab this. I think I'm gonna try the lighter pink and see how that goes. I'm gonna stay on the dry ink and just sort of make a candy cane stripe. So of course with the clipping mask, it'll just stay within the layer below, which is really great. So I'm just gonna do stripe, and then I'm gonna do with pressure, just bigger pressure there and then thinner. So that's kind of how that pattern goes. Oops, I'm gonna have a little bit more room for that. So I can just do the big ones first. And then the smaller ones. Oops. Without having to change my brush size, just by pressure. Good, I think those turned out. I think that'll work. Perfect. Okay, so just same thing on all the rest of them. So I might just bring up my brush size a little bit to 20. I think just scale wise it makes more sense. Okay, so like that's good for our candy canes. Next, let's see. We'll turn on our layer again, our sketch layer, see what's going on. Maybe we should just start doing some of the windows. I think I'm going to use, I'm going to add a plus sign, and I'm going to, you know, let's put this on top of the sketch layer. Might be nicer. I'm going to use the yellow light icing and see what that looks like. Okay, that could be good. And I'm going to outline the windows. So let's just, I'm still at 15%. And it's kind of nice because it's supposed to be icing, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, right? I'm going to fill these in, and I'm going to do something after, just a different color. Actually, I do want separation there to match. All right, and then let's do the rest. Okay. You know what? I actually want the candy cane around here as well, so we're gonna have to go back and do that. But while we're here, I'm gonna grab the darker yellow, and let's just make it so that there's a little bit of depth to it. So I'm gonna just bring it on the inside and this side. You can see what I'm doing here, just putting it on the bottom. This might be covered up. I might put icing here, or a white icing, but for now we'll do that. And let's put a little knob there. Good. Okay. Oh, this little guy too. Right. I think I might cover that up, so it's sort of a waste of time, but that's all right. This part underneath, I mean, I'm gonna probably put some icing underneath there, but okay. So we have that, and now let's go to layer 1 and do a new layer underneath and grab this blue. And I'm going to put blue behind here, so it's like it's been iced before. Okay. Oops, here too. Right, okay, so that's cute. So I'm going to go back to my candy cane layer, the white layer, and just grab white, and I'm actually going to make it like a candy cane effect around the door as well. So I think that'll look good. Okay, and we can turn this sketch layer off for now. I'm gonna go on the pink layer, that's for the candy canes, and grab that pink again and do the same thing. These are not on angle enough. Okay, so let's then do this door. So I'm going to go on just on the roof, above the roof layer, the gingerbread layer, and I'm going to grab this. Let's see, what color should we do? Maybe we'll just do a lighter gingerbready color. I'm going to add that for you. See what that looks like here. Maybe it's made out of graham crackers, so we can make that look that way. If we have that layer, add a plus sign, click on it, clipping mask, and I'm going to go and get the medium color brown, and let's see what would work. Maybe charcoal, maybe. Let's see, carbon stick. Oh, carbon stick, yeah, that'll work well. Okay, so carbon stick I have, let's put it at 20% and at about 80% opacity, and just kind of give it a dust there. Okay, and then go back to the inking, stay on that same color, and then I'm gonna kind of do, so there's like 2 graham crackers high. Okay, and then of course they'd have the little dots, right? I can't remember how many they had, but we'll just guess. They're all evenly spaced. Okay. Okay, so it looks like a graham cracker. Totally. Okay. So then we can go and, you know what, there's gonna be a shadow here actually. So with that, go to your painting, grab the gouache, and it's fine, we're still on the right color and everything, that's totally fine. Let's put it up to 100% and keep it at about 8% size. Just maybe give it a little shadow. Okay. That being said, we could go and give all our candy canes a little shadow too. So go back to layer 5, the white of the candy canes, and below the clipping mask, below the clipping, no, changing my mind. So just and click on layer 6, the pink layer, and above that, just do another layer and click on clipping mask. Go and grab this blue color. We'll stick with gouache, and I'm going to bring it down to about 50%. And everything on the right side I'm going to shade. So I'm just going to give it a little, see that? Just give it a little shade. And underneath. That'll make them look a little bit rounded and not so flat. Okay, great. So let's continue on with our decorations. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more icing. I'm trying to decide what colors I wanna do. Let's go to the icing and just do some white icing first. So click on the white and go back to inking, dry ink. I think we're still at 15%, yes. So that's good. I'm gonna draw a line across here. And you can vary the widths. I'm gonna try to make it somewhat straight. Let's see how that worked out. Sharp, perfect. And then we're just gonna do a little design like this. And do a little, these dots, you know, I might put a little color on these dots too. For now, I'll just leave them like that. Okay, That's good. And while we're here, I think I'm gonna put some snow on these ledges here, like I kind of said I might do before. But this layer is actually going to be above. So I'm going to take layer 7 and layer 8. I'm going to swipe, so I've selected them both, and I'm going to drag them below this icing. And they go make clipping masks, so I'm just going to click on clipping mask to undo that. Okay, so back to the white icing layer. So now that is on top, so that makes sense too, because that's supposed to go over top of that. I'm going to actually do this sort of thing where there's some snow on the ledge. I think that's cute when it does that. That's better. I'm just doing circles so it's all fluffy. Okay. And here too. Right. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to, do some more decorations. So I'm gonna grab, no, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the white. I'm gonna do another one under here. And just do some scoops in the other direction. Little dots. Go along here. Same thing. All right, I think it's looking very festive. That's good. We can go and take this. Actually, let's just do another layer on top, just in case. Get that dark pink, and I'm just gonna do another little line under here. Little accent. Maybe I'll alternate them. Let's try that. Let's do the blue and just put some dots in the middle. Good. Okay. And we could probably do that here too. I'm just gonna put them like kind of above, like they're little candy and they were stuck on by the icing. So let's say we'll do a row of blue and then a row of that hot pink in a sec. Grab that pink. Okay, bringing some more color in, I think it's good. Okay, next I'm gonna make that little wreath. I'm gonna go to the top layer and just add a new layer, and I think I need to bring in a green here. So I'm gonna select my blue and slide down to the green section, and let's see, I think that'll be fine. Put that there. Okay, so I'm gonna go and let's see, what should we use? You know what, I'm gonna stick with the dry ink. I think that's just working for us today. I'm gonna bring it up to about 40% and just give us a little wreath here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring a darker color in and just give a little bit of definition here. Just a few little dots. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the hot pink. Maybe we'll just make little dots on it. And then maybe some white just for icing bits that may be in there. Oops. Because I guess these would be stuck on with icing. Okay, I think that looks good. Oops, we probably need a door handle. We don't want me to just do that with the white icing. Good. Okay, I'm just gonna go and put a little bit of shadow on this side so we can tell what this is here. I'm going to actually switch these layers. So this one's below the roof panel, and then select on layer 2, another layer on top, and click on that and do a clipping mask. Go in and grab that dark brown here and go to carbon stick in charcoals. And I'm just gonna bring this to about 15% and about 80% opacity, and just give a little bit on this side here and this side here, just a touch. Maybe that's a little bit heavy-handed. I'll do it again. There. Maybe a little bit on this side of that chimney there. I realize I should probably do a seam here because you can't really tell. And then I'm just going to bump it up to 100% and just give this a little bit of texture. See, just so it's not just plain. I think that looks a little bit better. Going back to our overall icing layer, selecting white, grabbing inking, dry ink, and I'm just going to do those little edges here. And this probably would be cemented on, of course, with some icing. And then we can kind of see that a bit better too, but it's also logical. So, much better. Okay, let's see. We had some foreground stuff, so why don't we make our little stones there. We'll just do those with candy. I'm just going to go to layer 13 and put a new layer on top, and I'm just going to make it out of, well, yeah, all the colors that we've done. So I'm going to start with blue, and I'm just going to actually turn this sketch layer off. We don't really need it. I can just make it up as I go. And we're just going to have a regular candies. Maybe those are Smarties, or maybe it's icing. I'm not really sure. Grabbing that lighter pink. And the darker pink. And the light yellow. Okay, I think I've just got a little smudge there. All right, good stuff. And then why don't we do this? Make a new layer below, grab the white, and I'm gonna go to our, let's see, artistic, and I'm gonna get, let's try this plimsoll. I'm not sure what that's about, but let's see. That should make for some good snow. So I'm just gonna take this layer and bring it all the way to the bottom, way down. Put that at the bottom so we could just make our little hill of icing. So we can just fill this all in. And you can see that this stuff is, this brush doesn't, it's quite transparent. So what I'm going to do is actually duplicate it 3 times. One more time. All right, and then we can just merge those all together. We have something a little bit more substantial, and then we can go over it again and make it a little bit softer around the edges if you wanted to. Okay. Looking good. And then I'm going to go back to the main icing layer, back to our dry ink, and just, you know, fluff up these edges a bit. Just to make it look like a bit irregular. And I'm actually going to go in layer 14 with all our stones and just kind of bring it in here too, so sort of the icing is running in between a little bit. There, it makes it look like it's tucked in a little bit more. Good. Okay, I'm not sure we need a fence. I think we can probably leave it like this. I'm sure it's enough goodies, enough candy on here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials just like this one every single Tuesday. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.